if the stock doesn't have momentum, then you cannot trade momentum on that stock. I know it probably makes sense when you're hearing it right now, but most cases when traders lose on a momentum trade is because that stock doesn't have any momentum and they're trying to scalp it or flags, using flags not on the right stock from the beginning. So hey guys, welcome to this workshop of the best 3 strategies you can apply to day trading stocks. You can actually use these strategies that I'm about to teach you for all assets and markets. I'm Michael Katz, I'll be your host for today. I've been day trading stocks and futures for the last 15 years. So without further ado, let's dive right to it. So today we are going to talk about the best 3 setups that I've been using for the last 15 years. We're going to do that step by step, so please make sure you leave everything aside and take a notepad or a Word or a Google Doc and write down the important nuances that I will cover in this workshop. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below in the box, in the chat. And feel free to like this video and obviously share it with your trading friends as well. So let's understand first what is a strategy. So a strategy is basically a set of rules that contains parameters to finding the right asset to trade, the reasons to enter the trade, stop loss, entry price, risk management for that position, and obviously the trade management. So all of those parameters or elements are in a strategy. If you don't have those parameters inside of your setups, then you basically don't have a full strategy, and you gotta have it in order to become a profitable trader. Now, I know it sounds pretty simple, but we will go into depth right now. So in the market, you have 3 types of families. The first one is the ride the direction or the trend following strategy. The second one is the catch the fast move or a momentum strategy. And the third one, the one that I preferred the most to trade, is taking a mean reversal, basically. So we're looking at the downtrend and we want to catch the bottom or we sell in the top, etc. So in this workshop, we are going to talk about each individual family separately, and we will understand how to find the right asset, the right stock to trade for each one of them, which kind of parameters do you need in order to enter the trade, how to handle the trade, to manage it, and all of those things. So we will start with the momentum strategy and understand it right now. One of the momentum strategies that I really like to use called the flags, or it could be a bull flag, continue to the upside, or a bear flag, continue to the downside. We will see some charts in a second to understand it completely. So when do you want to trade it? Either at the opening bell or the close of the day. The opening bell is the first 30 minutes or so of the day. I usually like to trade the flags even on the first 5 or 10 minutes, even lower than that, sometimes the first 2 and 3 minutes, or at the end of the day, so basically 30 minutes before the closing bell. So it's around 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. The time frame that we will use will be most of the time 1 minute or 5 minutes or 15. I prefer to use a 1 minute chart for this, but you can easily use the 5 minutes or the 15 as well. The trade sentiment, and this is probably the most important to understand when we are covering a strategy, is to understand the sentiment, what drives the trade, basically. So a momentum trading is fast-paced trade. You gotta understand that as well. So you only trade a momentum strategy or a stock when you see the momentum arrive. So this is why you're trading it at the opening bell, because the momentum is much more higher than, let's say, in the middle of the day, on the lunch break, or at the close of the day, because the momentum is increasing there as well. So remember that element. When you're trading momentum, you gotta have momentum on the chart. So our rule or our goal as traders is to recognize the right stock, the right pattern, and quickly react to that. So first of all, finding the stock. We will cover that in a second, what the parameters that we need. But probably the one and most important thing that we need to remember is if the stock doesn't have momentum, then you cannot trade momentum on that stock. I know it probably makes sense when you're hearing it right now, but most cases when traders lose on a momentum trade is because that stock doesn't have any momentum and they're trying to scalp it or flags, using flags not on the right stock from the beginning. So make sure you're doing that. The reaction will be pretty quick, so we gotta be fast on the keyboard as well. So it's important to remember that. And like I said, this is a trading type belongs to the super active traders who like the 1 minute chart or the fast pace, reading the tape fast, and basically finding the right asset, finding the pattern pretty fast, and clicking on the mouse button, trading it. Also, the trade itself, the managing the trade part will be fast as well. So what should you have is first control on the keyboard and the platform, and secondly, reaction to price changing. So make sure that if you're trading momentum and you decide to do that, and I know a lot of day traders like to doing that, so make sure you have at least those two, and you know exactly where to hit your buy and sell button, and you can easily react to changes that are occurring in front of your eyes in real time. So how do we find the right stock? First of all, you have on our YouTube channel crash course talking about exactly that, finding the right asset and basically preparing yourself to the trading day. So make sure you follow that link, and it should be appearing right now at the upper corner of the screen. So make sure you're watching this crash course, about 10 episodes that I'm covering there, exactly what you need and how you exactly doing that, finding the right asset for each trading day. So first, when we're talking about momentum, you gotta have a scanner. And the scanner could be a simple scanner like a gainer or loser scanner that every platform have. So make sure you're using that. Read the news that moves the stocks. There are a lot of different news that will basically push the price higher or dropping the price. So also in the crash course, I'm talking about what kind of news do we want to use. And third, look for the relative volume. So the R vol, you want to see a lot of volume coming in before even the market opens. So at pre-market, you want to see high volume. High volume means that a lot of people participating, buyers and sellers. If the news are pretty strong, it will push the price as the momentum move. And obviously, if you would look at your scanner and the gainers and the losers, you would see the stock already there. So this is the first step that you want to take in order to find this stock. So reason to enter the trade is obviously a must when we're talking about a setup of a strategy. So first of all, we need to find a strong momentum move to the up or down side. So if we're talking about, let's talk about long for a second. We want to see a strong rally, strong momentum move to the upside, not something that goes sideways, not something that have like a curve of a banana. It should skyrocket to the upside, looking like a building, or in this case, a flag, so the stick of the flag. The second thing, just make sure the movement to the upside will be on high volume, increased volume. We will wait for a consolidation, that will be our flag. The consolidation will occur on a low volume. We don't want to see any strong momentum to the downside. We don't want to see sellers getting excited and selling a lot of their positions. So we basically want to see pretty much flat volume. And the last thing we want to consider is that the consolidation will be at the top of the range of that stick. So if we're looking at a stick, this is the stick, and then you have the consolidation. The consolidation will be at the top of the range of the stick and not below it. So let's say the 30% top of that stick. We will see it again in a second on the chart. Reasons that will make me want to cover the trade. First of all, if it reach my take profit. So let's say I put it on a 1-to-2 ratio and it reached my take profit. Another reason could be reached a major resistance or support level, depends if it's a bull flag or bear flag. Major support level could be a gap filled, pre-market high or low, 1H or above it level that we took from, let's say, a daily chart and so on. Another reason that will make me cover the trade will be extended trend. So, for example, we already broke through the flag, we in that trade, and now we reached a certain point that the trend is so extended and we have high volume coming in that could indicate that the price will drop down right now and basically either pull back or just reverse the trend. So those kind of parameters that we need to watch for. Another one is the market shifting its momentum. So let's say the market also opened the market. When I'm saying the market is the SPY or the QQQ, the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, and the momentum was positive to the upside, working perfectly with your flag. And for some reason, either news or whatever it may be, the price started to pushing down strongly on the momentum. That could be a great reason also to cover your trade. Lastly, we can use some indicators, for example, MACD or RSI. We will talk about them later on. And you will see after a nice momentum move to the upside, you will see the MACD creating a negative divergence, for example. So those are the points that can make me cover the trade. When we're talking about momentum strategy, we probably want to take at least 80% when we're reaching one of those parameters, and let the 20% maybe continue to the upside if the momentum will become a trend following strategy that we will talk about in a second. But make sure that you remember a momentum could easily shift to the other side. So at least 80% taking off the table, putting the profit in their pocket, and only the 20% left, let them ride and play with it and basically manage the rest of the trade. So here is a momentum trade that I took on the TSLA, Tesla, on a 1 minute chart. Tesla as an asset is a great opportunity for flags and in general momentum trading. A lot of news that come in every single day, and you know the price is pushing very strongly up or down. So this is a great way to trade Tesla on momentum. And let's talk about the reasons I entered basically. So first of all, finding a strong momentum move, you have it definitely. It started from here, pushing higher, and now we have a nice candle creating the stick basically. Make sure the move comes with high volume. It did come with high volume right here. Wait for a consolidation afterwards. So this is the consolidation. The consolidation occurring on a low volume, exactly as you can see. And it should be at the upper level of the stick. And as you can see, the flag basically was created at the upper level of the stick. So we got everything in order, and now we only need to understand where to enter and where to take our profits. So our goal is to get in that trade as soon as we see that the price breaking through the consolidation. So right above the open of the red candle, right above here. And our stop loss, pretty simple, will be at the bottom of that consolidation. And from here, we need to understand how to get out of that trade. So one of the parameters that I mentioned before was there, extended trend followed by a wide volume bar at the peak. So huge volume coming in at the top after we made a nice momentum move to the upside. And right here, when most people thought that the price will continue higher, that is exactly the point where market makers, or basically the market, will be manipulated and the price will drop. Speaking of manipulation, you can watch the episode we made, the podcast episode we made, Alex and I, about market manipulation. It will probably help you understand the market behavior and hopefully will help your trading as well. So basically, this is how you trade the flags. And as I mentioned before, the most important thing about trading flags or trading any kind of momentum strategy is understanding if the asset that you're trying to trade right now contain momentum price movement. If not, then this is not the right asset to trade. A lot of traders know how to find the right pattern, right flag. As you can see, it's pretty simple. But if it's not the right asset to trade, or the flag is not at the right place, then it won't be successful as they will think. So make sure that the flag is not at the top of the range, so you won't see an extended price and then a flag, because that will lead us to probably a shakeout or just a manipulation for a reverse pattern. And as I mentioned, you can watch it on YouTube or just listen through Spotify and other podcast website platforms as well.